welcome. Thank you for joining me at Maria Loves to Talk. And yes, you guys, I have a great video. What am I doing? What am I doing today? A continuation. Yes, you guys, dating app horror stories, dating that went wrong, thirsty, desperate people looking for love in all the wrong places and with the wrong people. So, hey, if this is something you're interested in, please join me. Get you some healthy snacks. Don't forget to click like and subscribe. If there's something you're not interested in, I understand. There's over 1 billion videos on YouTube. Enjoy and thank you anyway. So, hey, let's get into it because I have a lot of material to cover. It's a lot of hungry, desperate people out there. Okay, so the first little Fruit of Loop, his name is Aaron Goodey. Now, again, like I told you guys in the previous video, a lot of these people, let me unclick, a lot of these little Fruit of Loops are nice looking. 23 in London, nice looking. Okay, so what he was doing, arrested July 2020 following an investigation into 2 incidents where men were attacked by a man they met on Grindr. Again, okay, so now they say he's 23. So here it says, he was found guilty of 3 counts of, I'm not going to say the word, you know, it starts with R, ends with E, 2 counts of robbery, and 1 count of blackmail. The court heard Goodey was arrested in July 2020 following an investigation into 2 incidents where men were attacked and they had met on Grindr. Further police inquiries resulted in Goodey being linked to a 3rd offense that occurred in Lambeth in January 2020, where a man was assaulted and forced to withdraw money by a man who he met for consensual. Okay, so police did forensic evidence taken from the victim, and they pointed to Goodey. I'm assuming that these dudes are doing this to get money. Again, you guys, I'm pretty sure there is an Amazon. You know, Jeff Bezos is everywhere. There's an Amazon over there in London. Hey, you young, healthy, able-bodied guys, get you a freaking job. Okay, our next Fruit of Loop. I'm calling him Fruit of Loop. I want to call him something else, but I'm calling him Fruit of Loop. I'm going to be nice about it. Matthew Bauer, 21, and another Fruit of Loop, Paul Keeve, 18. Got a long name. Paul William Keeve, 18. They were charged with armed robbery, misdemeanor theft. They used an app, jacked up, wow, to meet the victim. I shouldn't laugh, I'm sorry. This is what these little, again, remember I told you these guys, young, okay? Keeve is the young black man. He's 18, and then Matthew Bauer is the young white guy. He's 21. I don't know, again, if these dudes are doing, and this is from Baltimore. I don't know, these young men, are they doing this because they think it'll be easier to get or lure men from Grindr, or maybe men from Grindr have more money than if they were to lure a woman from Tinder. I don't know. You know, maybe that's something to think about. Okay, so right here they're going on. They were charged with armed robbery, 2nd degree assault, misdemeanor, theft. They used an app, again, I told you, called Jack Up. What they did, they lured one man, took his cash at knife point. They went ahead and they moved on to another guy. Keeve was doing this one. This guy said that he met him and he called himself Josh. So Keeve right here. He went on with 2 other guys. All the victim knew, he said, they were 3 black men. So he left his little friend Matthew behind, and he went on and robbed another man of cash, money, and cell phones. And hey, you guys, them cell phones are high. $1,300, $1,500. You know, it's not like back in the old days. We got a cell phone that probably was like $40, $30. So they robbing these cell phones, and they're probably going to have a place where they're fencing it, reselling it to another man. So these little turkeys, forgot how much time they gave them, but they gave them a couple of years, these little turkeys. Again, you guys, Jeff Bezos will hook you little young dudes up. Jeff Bezos needs y'all. Jeff Bezos and Home Depot is a good place for a young man and UPS to find them a job. Okay, our next Fruit of Loop. Let me click this. The next little Fruit of Loop. This guy here takes the cake. Out of all these people that I read about, this guy really takes the cakes. His name is Derrick Patterson, 22, from Los Angeles, from Compton. This happened November 2019 until recently, March 2022. So he was meeting victims in hotel rooms, at their homes for encounters. I'm just call it encounters. He robbed, according to the police, he robbed more than 20 gay men. So I don't know if he was gay himself, and I'm wondering. I'm thinking about these guys that's using Jacked Up and Grindr, and I don't know what the other one. I don't know if they're gay or they're posing to be gay or what. But there's some good actors to put up the robbery ruse and take these men money and cell phones. So he pulls out different weapons on these guys. He has knives. He has a taser. He's using guns. So what with this one man here, he stole the wallet, the cell phones, the credit cards. One of the victims, he even stabbed the guy in the chest. Another victim just recently in March, he stabbed one man and then he robbed someone at the Beverly Hills Hotel. So he's going to different exclusive areas. He's not going like in a little bad area. He's going in nice upper scale areas. And one case here, they were saying, and the FBI got involved in this one. He had met up with a man. Let's see how they put it. They had met at Century Boulevard Hotel, and in one of the cases, the man said that they had met up for an encounter, and he robbed the guy. I went to get the guy's cell phone. The guy was fighting for the cell phone. He hit the guy a couple times and took the man's information. So this little guy, and you would look at him, nice looking guy, young, petite, well dresser. I would have never imagined. 22 again. 22. You should either be in college, working part-time, maybe in the Army, maybe starting up your own little business. I don't know. I mean, it could be something fixing computers. It could be painting. It could be mechanics. But this, I don't know if these little dudes are doing this because it's just it's easy money in their minds. But hey, you're endangering people's lives. You're endangering yourself, and then you're getting a criminal record and going to prison for a long time. I don't think, to me, it's not even worth it. His name is Daniel Jenkins, Dallas, Texas. This happened in October 2021. Daniel with 3 friends. It began December 6, 2017. Again, they used Grindr. Daniel Jenkins faces up to 26 years for his role in a scheme that used Grindr app to lure victims to his apartment where they assaulted and robbed. Wow. He assaulted and robbed these men. Okay. So here, this is their pictures. Again, nice looking young men. Accomplices: Michael Atkinson, 24. Pablo Cisneros, 19. DeLeon. Daryl Henry, 24. They all pleaded guilty to various charges in 2019. Once the victims arrived, the assailants forced them into the apartment, an empty unit that they were using. The men were robbed, pistol whipped, beaten. They did sexually assault these men. Federal authorities said at least 2 of the victims were smeared with, feces and urinated on. One of the victims. These are some little bad thugs. The victims were robbed of their wallets, money, car keys, cars, driver's license, IDs, cell phones, credit cards. Golly. Wow. Those little jokers, they were bad news. Again, 4 healthy, able-bodied young men should have been on somebody's job like Jeff Bezos, should have been at Home Depot, should have been at Walmart, but instead they out robbing, playing games, playing tricks, attacking people. That's what they were doing, making fun of. That is so humiliating to have someone, unless you Kim K and Ray J and y'all doing that little rainbow shower thing, but other than that, that is very humiliating and just gross to me. Okay, so the next person here is Brian Healless. I think he might be the most heinous. Brian Healless and Alex Davies. Grindr killer spends just 2 hours in prison. Thug stabbed teenager 128 times, was transferred to a secure psychiatric hospital the day he was jailed. So this boy here, I think he was 17 when he did it. He didn't get any kind of time. I don't know what happened. This is what he looked like. This happened in London. Okay. He lured another young man, the other guy, Alex Davies. He lured this young man, nice looking, cute guy. He lured him, okay. The guy came, this happened in April 2019. Healless stabbed sales assistant, Mrs. Davies, the young man's mom, said she didn't even know anything about him being released after he had did that gruesome. So let me give you some backstory here. Okay, so Brian, the wacko or the psycho that's pleading the mental card, he arranged to meet Alex. Okay, so Brian, I think he was closet or he hadn't came out. Alex had came out. He was openly out. So after they agreed and exchanged messages on Grindr, Grindr probably need to be shut down because I'm seeing too many cases of this. So they agreed to meet April 29, 2019. Brian looked up a day before meeting how to create fake GPS locations. So he had already had in his little psycho brain that he was going to do something bad. And he looked up on how to wipe clean the data off your phone. Okay, so he rode a bike to meet Davies, didn't even have a car. And he stabbed the guy 120 times. Mud was found in his mouth. Even after he did that, he contacted 4 more men on Grindr that he possibly was going to attack. So here the judge is saying, Judge Brown said it was planned and premeditated killing. You messaged him on Grindr and Instagram. The killer took 2 phones, Samsung Galaxy Watch, headphones, leather wallet, and then when he got home, he reset and registered the phones for him. That is just unbelievable. Brian Healless, 20, lured 18-year-old Alex Davies to a remote beauty spot in 2019. He stabbed the home bargain sales assistant 128 times during the fatal murder. A jury rejected claims that his responsibility was diminished by his mental state. He was transferred to a secure psychiatric hospital just hours after being jailed. I want to tell the mom, wow, mom. I hate to say it, wow, mom, kind of like with that little boy, Paul Gendron, and the other one, Salvador Ramos. Again, my condolences to the people in Uvalde and in Buffalo. The mama should have swallowed on that one. Some of these little monsters, these little creatures, they should not be here with us regular, human civilized people. But yeah, so after he did that, he tried to hook up with 4 more men, and thank goodness that they picked him up, because he would have went on a rampage and killed those men as well. Coach Miles Alexander, 42, Pasadena, California, high school basketball coach, contacted girl on Snapchat. Please, people, pay attention to what your child is doing, who your child is talking to. Your child, I remember when we were kids, pre-teens, teenagers, mama knew where we were going. She knew who our friends were. Mainly, most of them came to the house. And if we went over to their parents' home or whatever, my mom went by and she flew by there. I wouldn't say flew, but she drove by there, walked by there to see what was going on. You need to know what's up with your kids. Okay, so this happened in 2021 through November 2021. I don't know why okay. So he was arrested November 2022, this year, due in court May the 3rd, 2022. He faces 3 counts of lewd act on a child under age 14. Girl was 13 at the time, and 1 count of using a minor for sex acts. So that's what he was doing. He offers teen drugs. He made them do explicit snapshot photos. That's what the cops say. I was trying to find a picture of him. Okay, so this girl here was 13. I'm not sure if she was at his school. Alexander has reportedly been a basketball coach at San Gabriel Valley High Schools and a high school basketball referee in the Los Angeles area. In October and November, Alexander reached out to a 13-year-old West Hollywood girl on Snapchat and offered her drugs and alcohol in exchange for explicit photos and videos of herself. Okay, so then they say an investigation began in March, leading to his arrest in April 15. During the investigation, it became apparent the suspect was communicating with many individuals, mostly females. Whew, the school's supposed to be a safe place for our kids, for our girls, for our little boys. It's supposed to be a safe place for our kids, for our girls, for our boys, but obviously it looks like it's not. I mean, your parents, you can't go to school and sit with your child for 7 to 8 hours to look and see what the teacher's doing, what the instructor's doing. I mean, you can't do that. All I can say is parents need to talk to your children. You need to know what they're doing. You need to let them know that you are there for them. If they need something, if they're scared, if someone's bothering them, you need to be there. That's all I have to say about that. Antoine Hayes, 21, LK Jean. I guess that's California. Okay, so what he was doing, this happened April 21, 22. Again, I said California. If I can get a good picture of him. This Fruit of the Loop, psychopath, child predator, sex trafficking. So, LK Jean man suspected of sex trafficking underage girls whom he met through mutual friends and had online relationships via social media, was arrested. Antoine Hayes, 21, was found and arrested by detectives with the El Cajon Police Department. Okay. Let's see. He was booked. He's a okay. So suspicion of pandering. I never heard of that. Pandering of a minor, sending harmful matter to a minor, felon in possession of a firearm. So he's already a bad guy, and possession of undetectable firearm. I don't know what that means. Okay, so they went on to say ECPD said their team had received information that the suspect was sex trafficking underage girls after locating at least 2 juvenile victims. Police said they found additional evidence. Okay, during the investigation, it was determined the suspect met the girls through mutual friends. I don't know what that means, met them through mutual friends. And the suspect began explicit online relationships with the juvenile victims through social media. Police said the suspect was in possession of marijuana and a ghost gun. Wow. Again, you need to know who your kids' friends are. You need to know who your children are talking to. You need to know the children's parents. Okay, a lot of times, and I remember my grandma was real funny about us being friends or socializing with people that were a few years older. You know, and that's another thing. When I see people with kids that's 13, 14, and they're out socializing with people 18 and 19, and the parents are letting them go out to places and stuff. You really have to be careful with that. Just saying. I guess I'm old school, okay? My final loopity-doop Fruit Loop, 18-year-old Trennell Kirkman. No, 18-year sentence. Trennell Kirkman, because I'm fixing to say he look older than 18. He look older on Grindr. I mean, Grindr, I don't know who's the CEO of Grindr, but wow, he got his hands full. Okay, so Trennell, a man who allegedly used Grindr gay hookup to lure men into robbery ambushes with an accomplice, has been sentenced to 18 years prison for his role in 5 separate attacks. Come on now, you 30. Again, could be working at Amazon, could be in the Army, could be working at Home Depot. He's setting up, making these people think that they're going to have a, I don't know, rendezvous, but he's robbing them. So Trennell Kirkman, 30, pleaded guilty to 4 counts of armed robbery and 1 count of attempted armed robbery and a plea deal. Okay, so he sentenced Kirkman to 18 years for each of the completed robberies and 15 years for the attempt. The terms will be served concurrently, giving Kirkman a projected parole date October 28, 2026. That's right around the corner, you guys. Okay, the prosecutors say Kirkman and 28-year-old Stephen Jackson used the Grindr app to draw at least 9 victims into armed robbery traps. Okay, this will happen in October 2017. Okay, Jackson and Kirkman used Grindr to draw men into a gangway. I don't know what that is. And then they put a gun at these guys and robbed them. Prosecutors dropped multiple felony counts of aggravated kidnapping and aggravated unlawful restraint as part of the agreement with Kirkman. Wow. Basically, what I'm getting here from the few stories that I have read, the few series, Grindr and Tinder is not only used as a dating app, but it's used as an app to rob people. Okay, that's what it's used for. The women are using it with their boyfriends to set up a man. And then if they're not using it for that, the men are using it to lure women to, prey on them. Not pray, P-R-A-Y, but P-R-E-Y. So again, if y'all have any comments, you know any stories, you heard anything, let me know. Leave it in the comments. Again, be careful. Get to know that the person that you're dealing with. What happened to double dating? What happened to bringing someone with you? What happened to going to a public place like the mall, to church, to the library, to a book club? You know, don't go to somebody's house. Don't have them come to your house. Don't let them know where you live. You know, please, people. Again, I want to thank you for joining me at Maria Loves to Talk. Stay happy, blessed, enjoy your summer, enjoy all this good food out here, and just keep everybody lifted up in prayers, because there's a lot of wild, crazy stuff going. There's just a lot of craziness.